And we are live. Let's introduce these players here on the South Spawn location. As the Red Terran from Team MVP, it is Keen. And in the North position, as the Blue Zerg from Team Dignitas, it's JonnyREcco.
Going to be very important for JonnyREcco to take out this map as his own, to go with a 2-1 lead. Of course, this map, the only one out of the entire set that is heavily favored for Zerg in terms of stats. So if he loses this map, that obviously helps out Keen a lot. So very important win here for JonnyREcco. And if it does go that way, Keen will most likely accept it. But think about it, in terms of tennis as an example, you always want to win your opponent's serve, or to grab that advantage.
Right.
And if Keen's able to do that here, that sets him nicely to go back into the rest of the maps.
Well, and I mean, when you consider the maps that are still, getting ready to come up upon us, we, of course, have Cloud Kingdom, Entomb, Daybreak, and Ohana. Ohana is going to be a revisit to map number 1, but you also got to keep that in mind, too. And I think that JonnyREcco is certainly going to be much more comfortable having that one-game advantage, especially because, again, you said that you expect to see very standard play out of Keen, but I feel like if he got that game advantage, Apollo, that we could see some really aggro Keen come out.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we are seeing another aggressive build by Keen here. I think he likes that opening to be able to, sacrifice a little bit of economy to be able to put pressure on even faster than he would do normally before those 4 queens, for example, are set up. And he's opening gas again, and that only really means one thing, that he's going to be going for this Reactor Hellion, but on such a big map here. I wonder, I question that decision a little bit here. Is he going to be able to get there in time before the defense is set up?
Yeah, and that's, obviously the timing is going to be crucial in this. And I just want to give a shout out to those who are watching and chatting away in the TeamLiquid Twitch channel. A lot of guys saying, JonnyREcco reminds me a lot of how Vortex plays. Good decision making, very strong mid and late game. And I have to agree with them a little bit. Now, in the past, it was actually, didn't Keen defeat Vortex to make it here?
Yes, right.
2-3, right? Or 3-2, right. Yeah, so, he's obviously has the capability to do so, but 3-2, that's a very close score. And, of course, in a best-of-7, things can certainly change for the worse, but, also for the better. Now, we do see the factory coming down. Keen hasn't started that reactor quite yet there. It is going to be go down, and he'll be getting ready for this in no time. And right now we've got, again, a very similar build to what we saw in the last game. No gas quite yet. The pool's down. The hatchery is up. But keep in mind, there's also less surface area that JonnyREcco has to deal with here at his natural in particular. And then he can also open up that third and feel relatively safe about it to start. So you'd be curious to see if we are going to see some sort of an advantage come out by Keen, as he got in the last game with those Hellions.
And gas has gone down for JonnyREcco, which was never spotted by Keen. He went in the main base, but didn't actually go far enough to check if gas had been taken. And I wonder if JonnyREcco is going to use that to his advantage, whether he'll decide to be aggressive with it early on or not. I mean, he could do to catch his opponent by surprise, who doesn't expect that to be down. But that is a risk to take on such a big map like that. It is most likely not to happen, but something to consider. We do have, though, just the Hellions coming out, man, and will they do damage? As you said, the surface area is smaller. He could even build a Ro8 or Evolution Chamber to help wall off with the destructible debris. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be too possible to get the damage done like we saw on Antigua.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there we see double Creep Tumor going down right away as well. We've got Queen 4 out and in the main and the natural. So, wow, he is putting all of his queens down here as a defense. He's really, really concerned about that early Hellion aggression, and that Overlord inside the main is pretty much going to confirm that, as he's going to see the starport, though, go down with the tech lab on the barracks. So he does have a little crystal ball into what could be coming next, as there we see the barracks float away. But now we have the Hellions at the front. They slip right past those queens going into the main. They're going to fall almost immediately. He needs to get that one down, not let him get a triple shot off, and he does get a triple shot. He does manage to take out 2 drones in that, but it looks like that is going to be the extent of his damage.
Yeah, that's not really it's not good enough, basically, as that last Hellion will die eventually. But I really like that JonnyREcco sped up his Overlord scout timing from 7 minutes to 6 minutes because, of course, his opponent didn't go 1 barracks expand to go in to see the follow-up. And he saw that this most likely was going to be a Cloak Banshee follow-up. And that Hellion's still alive in the main, just now getting taken out. He expected a Cloak Banshee follow-up, but very smartly here, we actually see a mind game going over just to a Medivac. So he's actually going to drop in the main base as JonnyREcco's probably expecting a Cloak Banshee follow-up.
I love that. That is smart, smart, smart. I mean, obviously, as the Overlord, you're hoping to kill it before it actually sees all the tech that it's going to give away. And to actually fly the barracks back overland, back on the tech lab, I think, you know, that's going to be pretty scary. Oh, Zergling spots! Zergling spots the Medivac as it's making its way into the main. Was it seen? Yes, we do have a response coming out by the Queens and all of the Zerglings, and he is going to kill one of those Hellions, and that is completely thwarted, Apollo.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because, of course, that could have worked out really well there for Keen. I think he played it really well and how he changed the image of what he was meant to be doing. But now JonnyREcco was actually building a anti-Mutalist play as he was, anti-Mutalist, sorry, anti-Banshee play as he was heading up for an Overseer initially with the Queens, and then the Mutalist to come out eventually here. And I wonder if he's going to continue through with that, or if he's going to throw down something else, as the Spire should really be coming down if he's going to tech to lair so fast. But without that coming down here, he's only staying on Lings, and just now the Bailey Nest coming.
Yeah, there's the third base going down. The Hellions continue to try to set up. Now there is another potential for an attack here. So the Medivac coming in, or at least he's going to be able to use this as a retreat mechanism. He completely bypasses those Hellions, but he's going to have to go in yet again. Medivac should be able to pick up and pretty much take care of this easy peasy. But he's got to be careful, and there he gets the pickup and the exit. But he's not going to give up quite yet, Apollo.
He's not going to give up quite yet. He'll continue through and through. It is, of course, MVP Keen. Known for his harassment, known for his drone slaying. But one thing I'm looking at here is with this Muta build, it's very good against Reactor Hellion into Banshee play. It's not so good against regular double engineering base style, because by the time the Mutas come, we're actually going to see +1 done for the Marines. Stim is done, Combat Shields is done, Hellions are out. As long as he builds turrets, I don't really see him taking too much damage to this. So JonnyREcco, I think, has to do a lot, and I don't think it's going to be possible.
I kind of agree with you on this. I mean, you know, he's going to spit out 9 mutas right away. And if we just take a look at Keen's base and where it's at, you know, inside the main, if he goes all the way around, he's probably going to find himself the best window of opportunity, try to do some damage. But there's also these the Medivacs with the Hellions over here, and look at that. He picks up yet again. He's going to go and find a droneless third, and it's not going to do himself much good. He's just going to pick up and get out of there. But I just wonder where I guess the location of entry is going to be for maximum usage of those mutas, because I feel like if he doesn't get any damage done right away, then most certainly, like you said, with that double Ingi base style, he is going to find himself just in a terrible position, especially with that third going up now for Keen.
Yeah, I mean, there's no turrets down, though, yet, which is really surprising. Keen has seen that third base. He has seen no drones on it. Does he really think that JonnyREcco is playing a delayed double engineering base style? No. That has to be 2-base tech. But, I mean, it's not like he can't defend because he can use always Marines. But if Marines aren't there at the time, then these Mules will do damage, which they're absolutely going to do.
They're going to do a ton of damage, and there he does, go right into the main where there's very little damage. Now, from here, of course, it's going to be a long run for these Marines to make it over. I thought he was going to possibly go into the natural, but looks like he's just going to go ahead and try to get out of there. He did stop that armory from building at least temporarily, so he could put a hamper on the upgrades. But look at this little group moving forward. 2 Medivacs, a bunch of Marines, and some Hellions to try to pull these mutas back.
Yeah, they do pull them back, and he could even get Mutalist kills here if he stims and fights them. And it looks like JonnyREcco does bait that stim out and then just flies away anyway. Ooh, doesn't lose anything there. I like it.
What is he trying to do?
I don't really know. I think he's trying to bait, but at the same time keep the units there so he can come back with these units. But this is really nice there for Keenan. Not a good attack, not a good try, attempt, whatever that was. didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, with that army out there, you would think that, well, okay, I need to be going in and doing more damage at the front. I mean, now we do have Speed Banes. We do have the Zerglings at just +1/+1. So, you know, pretty soon with that armory going down, I assume, yep, +2/2 has started now for Keen. So he's really on a good road right here. And the Mutas have pretty much been a wash. You know, yeah, he got the drone kill there. He picks off a medevac. Might be able to pick off a second one. Not going to happen. Oh, the Baneleys get absolutely demolished there as he doesn't have any way to hold those Marines in place.
Yeah, and he's moved up now, getting rid of the creep tumors. There's a lot of units here. Okay upgrades, especially because the Marines are at 1-1. And JonnyREcco's going to go for it with the Mutas. He needs to get rid of those tanks. And this is a nice fight there by JonnyREcco, but there's just too many Marines at the back.
Yeah, I mean, he really wasn't able to just put that all together like I think he wanted to. And now this fourth base is going to be under heavy fire and will most certainly need to be canceled. Just look at the red reinforcements that are moving across the map. Medevacs, Marines, tanks. I mean, it is a scary little constant reinforcement. Now the infestors are out, but I feel like the amount of resources that have been utilized already, I mean, look at resource units lost tab, and it's pretty nasty, 7,000 to 3,000, and they just, these units are just being thrown into a problem that unfortunately is not getting fixed.
Yeah, this Muta build, you know, just hasn't really given him the upgrades or the infestors out in time, and Key's just pushing forward, and he continues to do so with tanks and Marine reinforcement. And despite the sloppy play we've seen from Keen getting supply blocks so often, late upgrades, if that third base goes down, which it does, where does JonnyREcco go for now? He's at Hive, he has no units, he's got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do anything at this point. I mean, I feel like he could have done a little bit better job with the Mutas to try to keep them back, and he is doing a great job here with the defense that is natural, but at this point he's, you know, he's really just defending his white flag, right? He knows he's going to have to wave it, but he is defending it anyway, and I expect that we're going to see a GG here. 2 tanks on the low ground, stopping any units that are moving up here. If this natural hatchery goes down, it's just an auto GG at that point. More links streaming in. There it is, GG, and Keen takes